All right, guys, so it's probably about 4:30 right now, and we're out here about to go get the run done, so let's go. Hello, guys. So for those of you who don't know me, my name is Gavin Atkinson. I am a runner for Tupelo Cross Country, and since it is our off season, I decided to take on the challenge of running a half marathon. Now, I've run several before, not as a race, but as like a long run. Longest I've ever ran is 15 miles, but since I've never raced a half marathon, and I enjoy running the long distance, I thought, why not run a half marathon? So that brings us to where we are today. So I've just finished week 1 of training, and I thought I would share with you some of the ups and downs that I experienced throughout the week. So starting off, the marathon I'm running is the Mississippi River Half Marathon. That is February 3rd of next year, and that gives me about 13 weeks to train for it. Now, Thanksgiving week, I have to have an off week, as that is required by our team to have an off week from running. But besides that, it's going to be just full speed ahead training the whole time. So let's go ahead and dive into my ups and downs and what I did of week 1. All right, so we started off Monday. We did 40 minutes easy to start building some base. It was a little bit hot. The week before it had been pretty cool, especially here from Mississippi, but then it heated back up, so wasn't really expecting that. Did 40 minutes easy, went a little bit faster than I should have. I'll talk about this in a moment, but yeah, just a little bit of heat. My mouth was dry because of it. Just wasn't ready for that, but it's still a good run. Now Tuesday morning, this is the first workout we had for my training plan. So what the workout was, it was 3x3K at about 7-minute to 7:15-minute miles. Now, I've never really done longer distance workouts before. Everything I've done has been generally focused on 5K, so stuff like 400s or 20-minute tempos or stuff like that, stuff to work on my 5K pace. But even though this is my first longer distance workout, I still felt really strong. I was going perfectly fine up until the last one. I had to catch my breath once, but besides that, went really well. You could tell it was a good workout because of the way my legs felt afterwards. And then the afternoon that day, we did 20 minutes of recovery. Surprisingly, that was the first time I actually have had side stitching in a while, so I wasn't really prepared for that. But yeah, just overall Tuesday was a great day for working out. Bringing us on to Wednesday, we had another 40 minutes easy. However, this time I focused on staying in my easy heart rate range. So I know there's this like philosophy in running that to get faster, you run slower and easier. So I was trying to keep all my run easy that day. We backed off on the pace, which lowered my heart rate. Made the run easier, didn't run as much mileage, but I mean, we still spent 40 minutes running, so that's the main goal. That's one of the reasons I recently switched over to doing time instead of distance, is because it's about the time you spend on your feet rather than the distance you go doing that. Now Thursday was a really fun run. We did an hour easy. Same idea as Tuesday. We did slower pace and lower heart rate. However, this time it was actually raining, which helped cool me off a lot. One of my favorite things is actually running in the rain. Cools me off and keeps my heart rate down and allows me to go faster and further at the same effort, which was really nice. Did about 6.5 miles that day for an hour, which was pretty good. Now this brings us on to Friday. So Friday was actually one of the first real hill workouts I've done. Since here where I live, it's pretty flat and it's hard to get to the hills I was wanting. I got on the treadmill. So we did 5x2 minutes going uphill. I did that about 15% grade, which is as high as my treadmill would go. We did that about 7:30 pace, which was surprisingly hard at that incline. And then we did 2 minutes flat recovery at about 8:30 pace. Really good workout. I feel like hills are one of the main points I struggle with during the cross country season, so hopefully this will prepare me for future seasons. And then in the afternoon, we just did another 30 minutes easy. The weather was much better today. After it rained, the temperature dropped some, and I was just able to go out there and enjoy the run. So one of the main important things about running is actually enjoying the process. Saturday morning, as you probably saw in the intro, we got up pretty early. Did another 40 minutes. This time was recovery, so pace was backed off even further. We had a pretty good run. Definitely not one of my favorites. It was just one of those things, but the important part is to show up and run even when you don't feel like it. And then lastly, Sunday this week, we did a 100-minute long run. Now, this was a very interesting run for me. Usually in my long runs, my heart rate starts low and slowly builds up over the run to around the average heart rate. This time the average was there the whole run, which is good for me because that's how it's going to be during the race. So I was nice getting used to maintaining a steady heart rate for that longer distance. We did about 10.5 miles. And also, this was the first time trying a gel. Like, I tried a goo this time because during my half marathon, I'm going to have to eat something during it to give me the energy to perform like I need to. So we tried that out. It wasn't really the taste that I didn't like about it. It was more of the consistency. I would describe it as like melted gummies, sort of. It was like if someone had taken a bunch of like gummy bears or something and then just melted them down. But I mean, I could definitely tell how much it helped. I didn't get as tired as much. Felt like I wasn't really hungry like I usually am. So that was pretty good. So yeah, that's this week in review. We had about 50 miles this week. Coming up next week, we actually have 2 new workouts. One, we're doing 5 by a mile, which is going to be really fun. It's about 10K pace, so that shouldn't be too bad of a workout. And then Saturday, we'll have a tempo session where we get to mix in some threshold paces with half marathon pace, so that'll be pretty fun. So stay tuned for that. That'll be out next Sunday, hopefully, as well. Yeah, so this week was a really good week. Really liked training for this half marathon, and I'm going to go ahead and say it. My goal is to be able to maintain the 8-minute pace for the whole distance, so I think that's about a 1:44 time, which would be pretty good for me, I feel like. And yeah, stay tuned and